So the big question, Jason, is for this.
And this one,
for this Jimmy Eat World and who is it tonight?
Jimmy Eat World and Third Eye.
Third Eye Blind. Here's my question for you: when you go to this tonight, because it's gonna be horrible, is do they have skateboard parking? Do you get to check your skateboard when you pull into this?
Or after I leave here, I got to go down to Hot Topic. And was it PacSun? I got to get
PacSun, yeah.
Got to get my Jinkos, I think. Need some Jinko jeans.
Well, what are those the ones that go like below your knees? So they're like pants, but they're not. They go to like your shin.
They have the pockets that go all the way down your ankle.
You got to get your chain for your wallet.
Yeah, and get some Jinkos. My chain for my like yin yang or peace sign wallet, or maybe the one with the frog smoking the marijuana.
And then socks that go halfway up your shin. So it covers your.
Got to get some Airwalks.
Yeah. Wait, what do you mean? You're going shopping. You should have this if you're going to the show tonight.
Well, last minute, you know me.
You got to put the sun bleach. You got to spray the sun bleach in your hair to get the tips.
I've been thinking about doing that regardless of whatever concert I'm going to. All right, like
you got to get the tips all nice and clean.
I've been thinking about bringing that look back for a while now. Okay, so let's not hate on that.
You got to grow the triangle here in your lower lip.
I know. I just shaved yesterday. Sam was not happy with me dropping a number 2 on the old.
She's like, how are you gonna fit in with if you don't have the upside down triangle on your bottom lip?
That's what I think tonight, because my hair grows out pretty long, and just spike it up, right? Just
no, it's gotta be loose. It's gotta like flow, dude.
Oh, I gotta go loose. So just water it, wash it, and shampoo and conditioner it. Just let it go.
So when you do your tricks, when you're pulling up and you have to go up the curb, and you do your triple ollie onto the curb there before you check your board.
Is it ollie or ollie? I think it's ollie,
dude. I don't care. I'm making fun of you here.
Why are you making fun of me? I don't have a skateboard.
Because you're going to this tonight. And then you gotta like, instead of coat check, skateboard check tonight. Hey man.
See, I was always a blader. Never really a skateboarder. I know we don't get along. But I was a blader.
So in case
I bladed.
You haven't got on, Jason's going to the I always call him Blink 182, but
well, I was calling him Fall Out Boy until 10 minutes ago. So
somebody in Jimmy Eat World,
and Third Eye Blind.
Third Eye Blind. So
looking forward to the 8 songs that I know combined between the two artists.
8? You know that many?
I think I know 4 or 5 from Third Eye Blind and 3 from Jimmy Eat World.
What I want to see is pictures, because when I go to 80s rock concerts,
you want to know like what the crowd looks like.
Yeah, like the moms my age that think they're still 18.
Oh, when I went to a Kiss concert over there, like, oh my gosh, like the people are there, like just all the. I mean, everybody was Star Child. I was Star Child. I did the face paint, which sucked because they wouldn't sell me beer.
So you're like, but I'm with Kiss. You're like, Kiss isn't British, kid. I want to know.
I was wearing a suit like the Beatles.
I want to know what all the skater kids from 15 years ago when these guys were popular look like today.
Yeah, what they're all doing with their lives.
Yeah. I want to.
They're all the CEO of that skateboard company.
I want to see the guy that has the nice suit on because he couldn't get home from work to change. He's got the nice suit on, but he's got the left ear pierced.
Right. He still has the eyebrow ring. He just had to bust the hole back open.
He's got blood coming down his face. Yes. All things I don't want to know about tonight.
Well, I don't expect it to be a long night because, like I said, there are only a few songs. I don't think they're rocking out 15 songs, right? Like, I think they kind of know their audience. Like, all right, we'll give you 10 apiece.
I think it's all awful.
Call it what it is.
Jimmy Eat World actually is tolerable because they're more like a rock band. The Blink 182 guys that I keep calling them Blink 182, but they're not.
Third Eye Blind?
Are just god awful, man.
Oh, I like Third Eye Blind. I think they're pretty good.
That 90s rock scene was just garbage.
Oh, it was terrible.
Just garbage.
This is like,
so
whatchamacallit, MTV VMAs coming back.
So bad. Well, just like I said, just double check your board when you leave. Make sure nobody swapped out your ollies and your shocks and your.
I don't think ollies are on the board. I think
your wheels.
I think ollie's a trick.
Yeah, your wheels. Make sure somebody didn't mess with your bearings.
Right? Yeah, you gotta have the bearings.
Somebody, excuse me, sir. Somebody switched out my bearings here. The question I got is how many 30-year-old people are being dropped off by their moms for this concert tonight?
Right. Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah, that's Uber, right? They probably took
Uber.
Oh,
that's true. Mom, it's not cool for you to drop me off at Blink 182 and Fall Out Boy concert.
And this is definitely a what was it, the old teen movie special right here. You know, it
is going to be awful.
If you're a fan of
amazingly bad.
If you were a fan of Scream, American Pie, whatever other '90s teen movie there was, like
Scream had none of that garbage in it. That was after Scream, man.
Varsity Blues.
Varsity Blues had a kick-ass soundtrack. No,
I think they had one or two songs.
You are going too far back now.
Maybe. All right,
Quit equating good stuff with your crappy music you're going to tonight.
American Pie, that was definitely right up their alley, I feel like.
That American Pie, like the crappy ones, like 3 probably.
No.
A lot of that on there.
It wasn't in like The Naked Mile. I think like number 1 had one or two of these songs. I'm not a perfect person.
Oh my God.
Who knows?
That's not either one of those bands.
Well, I thought that other.
So, welcome to the Main Event Podcast. Exciting times for Mr. Carter tonight. Everybody wish him luck.
Double date, hang out with our couple friends. We can always use more couple friends. Waiting for you to get on a couple, Steve. So we have couple friends.
I could live without couple friends if I have to go to that concert to have couple friends.
You know, it's probably going to be a fun time. You're just hating it, man. You're just hating on it.
Okay. Good luck. I can find fun in anything. And I am pretty sure if I was at that concert tonight, my fun would be stabbing my eyeballs out.
The only fun I feel like is going to be, or the thing that's going to suck for me, is going and just sweating to death because it's outside. It's not an indoor show. It's an outdoor show, and it is not going to be.
Where's it at? The old Cricket?
The old auction pavilion.
Yeah, now it's.
Was that what it used to get called? The Cricket? I don't even know.
It was Blockbuster.
I think that was before my time.
Yeah, it was Blockbuster, Desert Sky when I was a kid. I know kids Google Blockbuster and see what that is.
Sam found her Blockbuster card.
Then it was something else, and then it was like Cricket Pavilion. And now I don't know, but you say it's auction now?
Yeah, I think it was auction a few years ago when I went out there.
Yeah, it's been raining and it's been humid, so yeah.
So that's not going to be fun.
Well, hopefully that all the moms that are taking their dropping their boys off skateboard park before that, hopefully the moms remind them to put deodorant on for you.
That's all we can hope for.
So, football has started. Everybody's reported to camp. Well, everybody but Zeke has reported to camp.
Right? Yeah, Zeke's still.
He's in Cabo.
Cabo Wabo, baby.
They have pictures of Zeke in Cabo now.
Oh, are the pictures out? I haven't seen the pictures yet.
Yeah, well, it's official that he is there. And Jerry Jones came out and said, we don't need a running back to win a Super Bowl.
And then he immediately went and signed Alfred Morris, who said it feels like he's back home, which I don't get that because he was only in Dallas for a year. But
he's from there, though, isn't he?
I have no idea the Alfred Morris correlation of making that feel like home because he literally was there for a year and got most of his playing time whenever Zeke got suspended. So.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I lost my train of thought. Now that I'm like, did Alfred Morris grow up in Dallas? Like I care.
Yeah. Because he was San Francisco?
Redskins for a while. Where was he last year?
But didn't he start out like San Francisco? Like that was like where you knew Alfred Morris from? Like
I know him from the Redskins.
He was a 49er?
No, it was Frank Gore.
Oh, is that who I'm thinking of? No, I think
Morris was in Redskins.
Oh, he went to the Niners after the Cowboys. Yeah, that's right. He was Redskins for 3 years. Then Cowboys for 2. I guess he had 2 years.
His best years were in
his best years were in Washington. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, good call.
Yeah, so it's for a team that's in a bad division since the Giants are going to have no receivers.
Nothing.
Not at all. They're going to be bad. Horribly bad. Eagles, we don't know. They'll be decent, I'm sure, right?
Depends on Carson Wentz. You know, he did have surgery in the offseason. How hurt he's going to be. If he's going to be full up.
Cowboys are going to be, their standard 8-8, probably a little better, depending on how it goes. And I can't believe I'm forgetting the fourth team.
Redskins? You literally just said the Redskins.
Oh. Yeah, they're going to be awful.
Yeah, do they even have a quarterback? Alex Smith, he ain't playing this year, is he?
It's that rookie guy.
Yeah. So,
Oh, RG3. He just. Oh no, that's Baltimore.
I don't think RG3's starting it.
RG3's
Who
in
he did sign
Baltimore.
with.
He just broke his throwing hand thumb the other day, so
Oh, that's
no,
fine.
you got Lamar, but you need him as a good backup. So you were out at Cardinals training camp on Sunday. How'd that go?
Well, the team looking sharp, man. I tell you what, Kyler Murray, I think he's going to lead this team to the Super Bowl. Is really showing off his footwork. Looked good. No, he's going to get in so much trouble for holding the ball too long. People were like comparing him to Russell Wilson, exactly like Russell Wilson, and the fact that Wilson holds onto the ball way too long. Kyler Murray did the same.
Makes some awesome. Russell Wilson makes some awesome plays. When
He does.
that.
So I mean, we'll see what Kyler does, in full song, but just in practice, watching it, because at the end of practice, they do the drills, and then practice like, all right, cool. Here's the line of scrimmage. Let's go down, march our way down the field. Get in the end zone from whatever, like the 60 or 40. Not 60,
Saturday
but like the 40-yard
was
line.
Saturday was their first day where they did pads.
Yeah.
And all the video I saw on that day, he looked pretty freaking good.
So I like Kyler a lot. I thought he looked good. Like the throws he was making, they're really good throws, really good catches as well. I mean, he was waiting for the open guy.
That's not good.
There was a few but it wasn't waiting too long. I'm not saying like he was waiting like 8 seconds. Like there were times where he did hold on the ball too long and he had to scramble out a little bit.
I have seen a lot of one-handed catches in practice this year, which is never good because that means he's off the mark.
Right. But then Brett Hundley, when he led the offense, he was trying to force the ball into places that it wasn't going to work, and there's a lot of incompletions. It was funny because, at the end of the practice, they have marched on the field, and Kyler had a few good passes, few good runs, ended up 3 points, gotten down to about the 25-yard line or so, had to kick a field goal. Brett Hundley, he had a pass interference, defensive holding, ended up 3 points as well, but did not complete a pass at all on his drive. So it's one of those things where, wait and see, but I think Kyler Murray is going to be your starting quarterback.
I don't think there's any question about that.
Right.
I mean,
if anybody was wondering, because I know some people are like, Murray or Hundley. No.
Were they? Who are those idiots?
I mean,
I'm going to call them idiots. Who are those idiots?
Well, we talked to the quarterback whisperer, Dennis Guile, on the Racing with Jason podcast.
Well, that was before the
he
draft.
Really likes Hundley.
But that was before the draft.
That was the day before the draft, and he did not like Murray.
Yeah.
I think him and Hundley are friends too, so you always want to go with your friends, right?
I'm on board with that. Now, I haven't been out there because I seriously could give two craps about what he does in practice right now. I don't even care what he does in preseason. Week 1 is where you're going to see. And man, they're hyping him. Like, there's literally a tweet from media members just gooing. What's the word?
Goo-goo?
Yeah, going goo-goo about him, about where he's putting the ball, how great he looks, all of that stuff. But he hasn't been touched.
Right.
When you get hit 5 times in the face, it tends to hurt.
I mean, there were definitely a few plays where, he was scrambling. I was like, yeah, if this was a game, he would have been dead. Obviously, the Cardinals defense isn't going to sack the crap out of Kyler Murray. But if this is a real game against, something like the Seahawks or Niners, whatever you name it, he would die.
So I don't care. But I saw one media member, and I can't find it right now to give him credit, but he literally said, with every practice I give the Cardinals, with the way Kyler Murray looks in practice, every practice I'm giving the Cardinals, I'm moving their notch total up a little bit. I'm giving them 25 wins so far this year. And I thought that was pretty funny.
Well, that won't work because there's not 25 games.
The point is he's saying how good he looks in practice, and he keeps upping their win total and everything.
Practice.
So I just don't. I get you have to overhype, your quarterback. You got to overhype it, everything, and all that stuff. Which is why I don't pay attention to this or preseason at all, because none of it matters. Week 1, no matter how confident he is, he steps back and gets smacked in the face. He could crumble.
Yeah.
Possibility.
No, definitely true. Some other takeaways from the old training camp on Sunday. They have a really good deal on scrub-ass autographs and game-worn jerseys, in case you're wondering.
That is the charity stuff that goes to the charity that they got?
Yeah, like $10. We got Anthony a $10 little mini helmet of an autograph from somebody, I don't even know, some scrub. I'm going to say, his last name was like Nicholas, and it was number 86. I'm assuming it's a tight end.
That's a tight end,
It was like
yes.
the 5th string or something like that. You never heard of?
one of the 4 tight ends on the team.
Is he still on the team?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know. See, they didn't.
Troy Nicholas.
We didn't get. Yeah, I think it might have been Troy Nicholas, but they didn't give us the.
I didn't have to look that up.
They didn't give us the paper.
Oh, it's not authenticated?
No, they didn't give us the paper that says what the roster is.
What if it goes, dude? You got to get that authenticated.
No,
what
you
if,
know, like the
what
roster
if that goes
paper.
up to?
I wasn't talking about that. Like,
what
that's
if that goes
like,
up
that
to
has the
$11
sticker. The
in
sticker's
value?
on there. I mean, $12 maybe. I'm looking at here.
What if that goes to $11?
But I had to do the dad thing where you're like, I want to take it out. I was like, no. You got to let that collect value. like I think it's really going to collect value. You know, the Nicholas autograph mini helmet replica. I was like, no, don't take it out. We set it up on the desk. Let it collect some dust. We dust it off and it just gains value in it. Don't worry about it, son. He's like, what? I was like, welcome to life. But no, they got the game worn jerseys, man, like $40 for like guys you've never heard of.
Well, that's why.
And those are the ones that stick on you.
You say 87, right? I thght you said 86. He's 87.
Might have been 86. I don't know.
No,
I didn't say. I said 86. I don't remember. He
87
wrote
is
the
his
number.
His number is 87.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
It is Troy. I told you.
There you go.
He was drafted by the Cardinals in the second round of the 2014 draft. Oh, he played football at Notre Dame.
Yeah, there you go. South Bend. Like a champion.
Let's go. Fighting Irish.
All right. Might have to keep that up.
Oh, he's now currently with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah. I don't think. Yeah. See?
Oh, no.
Yeah, he was with the Patriots.
Hold on. Yeah,
That's
current team, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but he was waived with injury designation 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So he's no longer with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's injured, and they waived him.
There you go. And he was a practice squad member for the Patriots.
So
made it a full year with those guys.
But no, that's one thing the Cardinals do well for their charities is they do cheaper. Like you go, like we went to for baseball, we went to the Angel Stadium, and like all of their charity stuff was, $800 because it was all their named guys. And it's like, do some cheap guys that nobody's heard of, I'd buy a nice Angels jersey with some schlub's name signed on it that I don't care about if it was cheap enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they had a Conrad Obie jersey. Remember the great Conrad Obie, undrafted free agent to the Cardinals? How do you not remember Conrad Obie? I think he played at Stanford. Guy was a stud.
You are obviously Googling right now.
All right, I did Google that part. But lineman, defensive lineman. Yeah, they had his.
They have like Larry stuff there. How much was like the Larry stuff?
No, it was all the scrub players that you're getting over there on that deal.
Like Clarence.
They might have had the good stuff, but I made it a little bit late. So I'm like, man, maybe I wonder if I go to practice early. So say I go up this week or something like that, have a little time. Like I think tomorrow they're practicing like 10 to 12. If we go up at like 9:45, 10 o'clock, I can get the good stuff and leave.
You think they restock it every time?
I don't know. I mean, you would have to, right? If you're doing like all these open practices, maybe.
Doors open 30 minutes before practice starts, so 9:30.
So there you go, 9:30.
Just be out there standing in line at 9
to go get a scrub jersey. But the thing about the game worn jerseys though that I like is those things are like the ones they're like fit to form because those things stretch out like super ton. Like there's this one guy who was about my size. He couldn't get one on. He could not get one on. He's like, my God, this thing's tight. I was like, yeah, dude,
go put on my Terrell Suggs game worn Baltimore Ravens jersey down there, and like it's amazing. That guy's bigger than me, and that thing barely fits on me.
Yeah, it looks like
and
a
I don't have
shirt,
pads
right?
on or anything. And it's
that's what's crazy about it.
How do you get this crap over your pads and everything, buddy? And then his arms are like the size of my thighs,
Well, they got that thing like super. That's the thing I like about it. Like I would wear that to a game, I guess. Maybe
a game worn jersey.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's
my game worn Conrad Obie jersey.
That's what I was gonna say.
People are like, Obie, who the hell is Obie? But Conrad Obie, man, great, the great Conrad Obie.
They'll probably just think it's your name. That's the best part. Look at this clown with his name on the back of a jersey.
Number 25. What a loser.
What was that? Cornerback 25.
I wonder if I can go to the gift shop and get him to take off and just make it a Murray 1. Kyler Murray 1, baby.
I have this game worn jersey with his Ovi signature on it. I need to change it to a Kyler Murray.
But then they had like the jersey. They don't have the signatures on. I don't think. I think it was just the jerseys itself.
Oh, not
even autographed. Game worn, yeah. So that's why I would wear it. You wouldn't let the Conrad Obie. If it was an autograph, I mean, I might hang it up, get it in the frame.
They're not. That's the thing. Like real jerseys aren't made to be worn like every day. They won't fit you right.
Yeah.
It's That's why.
That's what I saw. Like, there was a guy who was trying on. He's like, I can't get this on, but his wife is over there. She's like, do you even know who that player is? He goes, of course. I know who Cornelius son number 75 was. I know who he was.
you are so reminded me of why I don't waste my time going to those things.
And so there I was like, well, hey, $40 for a game worn. This is a steal. And he's like, yeah, see? So I'm like, get him dug in a bigger hole with his wife. I'm like chirping, like, yeah, I mean, this is like a steal right here. So
Yeah, an authentic jersey is $100 and something.
Yeah. Game worn. That's can't get more authentic than that.
I won't tell you what I paid for that Terrell Suggs game worn Baltimore one signed.
4?
It was for charity.
4 or 5?
It was 5. 5 something.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was for charity too. So I mean, I wouldn't have paid that much.
It was one of those like where you had a bid on it, charity things, or no, or just go buy it. Like,
no, it was one of those things where it was up. It was one of those stupid radio things that they have, So they had all this stuff, and like it kept coming back up, and nobody was putting money on it. Nobody was putting on it, and it was like $250 or something. So I was like, I called them up, and I was like, yeah, whatever, I'll put it in there. And they're like, all right, what's your go-to price? And I was like, 5. I'll just throw out a number. Whatever.
Like, 5 it is.
So, of course, then it hits 5. But it hits 5 because, the radio people are like, let's raise it up to 5 for him. He said he'd do 5, No, it's charity. I
Right.
don't care. But I mean, I think that's generally what game worn would go for a well-known player. Future Hall of Famer
Oh, yeah, definitely.
in current Arizona Cardinals. So, was everybody practicing, or were people sitting out? Because, like I said, it was the day after pad day. And there was
Larry was not practicing. He was sitting out,
They
kind
get
of
the
coaching him up.
Veterans Days.
Man, he's been a good coach. I tell you what, he was real in tune
A
with
guy
it.
a guy like him isn't ever going to coach.
You don't think he's going to coach?
He makes too much money.
Or at least I think he'll be one of those guys where he'll come to training camp and be like an
He can
advisor
do that,
type role.
yeah, but he's not going to go through the
right.
grind.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to sit down on the sidelines. Yeah, you're right. But I can definitely see him being like in the advisor type role with some of these players moving forward.
Yeah, because I mean, everybody, he already does that in the offseason. Every receiver worth their darn in the league comes here and plays with him, in the offseason and whatnot. So, yeah, think the Cardinals are going to win more than 3 games this year?
I got him at 5. I kind of went with 5.
5.
I went with 5 before the draft. I don't know. I kind of like it.
I haven't done that yet. We're going to break that.
Now I got to look at the schedule here.
We're going to do.
We are going to have our full
Yeah.
rundown of every NFL squad member before the season starts.
I think
last year we did that. Didn't we do that with Adam last year? And
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
yeah, he was just on his phone, dicking off. Just had everything to say about the Bears, but
Yeah, right. Nobody else. He didn't know anything else.
didn't know Johnny from. Well, he was also heat stroking. I believe at the
Yeah,
time.
he
I
was,
believe
'cause
he
he
was
was
suffering
hot.
from a heat
Yes.
stroke
Yes.
when that happened. So, but no, let's see here. I want to say I had him at 5 wins. Let's see here. Cardinals schedule.
Their defense is going to be so stacked.
Yeah, their defense. They keep building their defense like really good.
Everybody they're signing is defensive players. They need offensive line help,
Oh yeah,
and they're just signing defensive player. I think their defense alone is going to give them 6, maybe 7 wins
you know
just
what?
by themselves.
you can't. You don't have to score a lot if the other team doesn't score, right?
My point.
Field goals all day. Although there were 4 clinks the other
because
day.
there's no competition for Zane, former
Old Zane.
Arizona State University record holder for field goals.
Oh, Zane's clanking them, and you can tell the people that are like that went to
fans.
ASU as well. He's like, "That's all right, Zane."
Well, I mean, Cleveland got rid of him because they blamed him for missing some
Right,
kicks and
yeah.
stuff, So
I think Lions are going to win game 1. Started
they're
out.
gonna be-
I think you're beating the Lions.
if they don't beat the Lions, it's going to be a long season.
So I think you're beating the Lions. I might give you the Bengals in Cincy. I think that's
win.
a
It's
dub.
a road game, so it's a kind of a toss up. But I
Yeah.
think they'll be the Bengals.
That's early
in it.
start. That's the only thing. Like I'm.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, it's early start,
on
but
paper,
it's going to be early October, so it's not going to be a weather
on
game.
paper, you give because Bengals going to be awful. New
Yeah.
coach, team is awful. You give them that win.
You're beating the Giants.
You better beat the Giants.
You're beating the Niners. One of the two.
Yeah, usually you beat them on the road and lose them at home.
Right.
But
Last year they
you'll
beat them
split.
both, but both were out. Was without Jimmy. But I feel like even with Garoppolo, you beat him one of the
Yeah,
two.
I agree. Yep.
So that's 4, and then I feel like you beat the Seahawks one of the two as well, because you know how that goes with Seahawks and Cardinals. Like I don't think the Seahawks are going to be that great this year.
No, I
I
agree
think
with
they're
you
going to be
on
like
that.
right in
And
line with the Cardinals.
It's the same thing where they beat Seattle in Seattle and lose them here.
Exactly.
And it's usually a close game.
Yeah. And maybe Buccaneers you win.
That's what I was gonna say. You got the Bucks. I think you beat the Bucks.
The thing about the Bucks, though,
that's in Tampa.
it's in Tampa. BA
But BA
is coach, so
but
I mean, it's gonna be one of those like
every
things.
time BA went against an old team in Arizona, he lost. The Steelers and the Colts.
And they got
he lost.
Bucks also went and got the old defensive coordinator too.
Horton.
No, Cardinals old defensive coordinator,
Horton.
who was the Jets coach.
Oh yeah, you're right. Horton. I'm thinking three.
I'm like
defensive
Horton.
men. I'm thinking Ray
no.
Horton. Ray Horton was like three
Ray
defensive
Horton
linemen.
passed away
Yes.
last year.
Not that guy.
No, I can't even think of his name.
I know.
And I had it too. I was thinking about the other day.
But you're gonna have talent, Jason, in order to.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was able to coach his way out of some stuff a few times.
But you don't think, like Pittsburgh's at home, you don't think they can sneak out a win against Pittsburgh in Arizona?
I think. Well,
They're at
they
Baltimore.
got. I think Baltimore. No, with
At Baltimore,
with
you don't think so?
Pittsburgh coming here because it is so late in the season. We see often with Pittsburgh in Big Ben. That's around my body's wearing down time.
Well, not just
So that might
but-
be like one of the surprise wins, I guess you get out of them.
Yeah, but I mean, at Baltimore, middle of the season, you don't think they could sneak out a win
That's
there?
like what, week 3, I think.
Yeah, Baltimore's not. Terrell Suggs going home.
So
Lamar Miller.
I mean, Baltimore last year, I think they're really good. They made the playoffs. I think they're going to be a lot
Sneaked
better
into
this
the
year.
playoffs.
Yeah, I think they're going to be a lot better this year. They're not going to be a sneaky playoff team. They're going to be a lot better, I feel like.
But that defense
So-
is, and they just keep stacking more talent. Now, Patrick Peterson, without Patrick Peterson for 4 games, it might be a challenge. But if they don't beat the Lions, it's just going to be the longest.
Yeah, and that's the
season
thing. You get the
ever.
Ravens week 2. So
That's right,
I think
yeah.
you get the win. Then you kind of come back down to earth week 2. And then kind of let it play out. Maybe, so week 3, you got the Panthers. Going to go L on that, even though it is at home.
It's at home.
It's at home.
They'll beat.
You got to beat the Panthers.
Yeah,
I don't know.
here.
I think that offense is good though. I mean, we're going to see what the defense looks like week 1 and week 2, and then come back at me. But I think the
Dude,
Panthers.
Panthers offense is not good.
I think they're going to be good.
Cam Newton is awful.
And then that's that stretch in October. October is going to be a pretty good month for a Cardinals fan. You're going to get you excited. So
It's the end of the year
I
that
think
you
they're
got to
going
worry
to win three or
about.
so games there.
Yeah, it's the end of the year that you're going to have to worry about the Cardinals schedule. I mean, it gets brutal.
Yeah,
in
I
the
mean, you
second
got
half.
those 3 straight home games, but it's Rams, Steelers, Browns.
Yes.
So, good luck.
And I'm
And then
not.
you're on the road, Seattle and L.A.,
I'm not
which I
on
think
the-
you could beat Seattle. So,
I wouldn't be surprised if they beat the Rams at some point too.
yeah, again, that's been one of those
1-1.
weird rivalry things.
But even the Browns on the road, the Browns haven't won anything. Why does everybody think that the Browns all of a sudden are going to learn how to win?
I know there's hit or miss people about the Browns. I don't know. I'm on the.
You're going from Cleveland.
I'm riding them.
You're going from Cleveland to Phoenix, Arizona on December 15th to play a game after a long season of getting beat up, playing all that way. You're going to have all these injuries and everything. Traveling across the country. It's whether they're in the playoff hunt or they're not, they're going to have that pressure on them on top of everything. They've never won, first-year head coach. There's a lot of things that people are saying are going to go Cleveland's way this year. And there's factors involved. If this was in Cleveland, I would say Cleveland would
Well,
win.
they're coming
no
off a
matter
gimme
what.
the week before when they play the Bengals. So
Rivalry games are never gimmies, man. Never gimmies.
I'm looking forward to
You
it.
don't think the Cardinals can beat the Saints at New Orleans in Week 8?
I'm not holding out hope for that one.
What about the Falcons at home in early October?
I might say I think that could be one of those games where it's going to be a lot closer than what people think it will be.
Yeah, I mean, if you can bottle Matt Ryan up,
Yeah.
you'll be all right.
I think that could be one of those games where it's like, oh, wow, this game's actually a really good game. And then it's like, hey, man, flip over to the game. One of those type things.
I'll
But
probably be there. So.
is it at home?
Yeah, it's out here. Yeah, it's here. You see Matt Ryan in person this year.
Nice.
Haven't seen Matt Ryan since. God, was he on that team when they played the Cardinals the year the Cardinals went to the Super Bowl? Yeah, I think he was.
Was that here? Did I go to that game?
It was here.
Oh, no, I did not go to the game. The year they went to the Super Bowl. No, never mind.
Yeah, it was the year they went to the Super Bowl.
I didn't even know you
Cardinals
then.
went to the Super Bowl.
Didn't even know you then.
Yep. So so I mean, it's that time of year for football. A lot of Giants have lost a lot of players due to injuries. Haven't heard very much. A lot of the veterans aren't going to play in the preseason. That's the whole
Yeah, Julio Jones came out and said, I ain't playing.
Did you,
I ain't playing one.
the Bengals practice facility turf is so bad and everything, and they still let AJ Green and everybody go out there. And now he's out 6 to 8 weeks and had surgery on his ankle because he high ankle sprain and everything.
Jeez.
Like, how bad are the Bengals where the field is in known disarray and they're like, let's go practice.
Right. Yeah.
Let's hurt our only good players that we have.
That's a tough deal.
So I mean, game Thursday night, tomorrow night. We'll touch on that here in a little bit.
Ready for some football. Our last week with no football.
Hall of Fame game is tomorrow night, Thursday night. I don't know when you're going to get this posted. Probably tomorrow because you have that awesome concert.
I think I should have it good. I'll have one of the two good tonight. I think this one will be.
And then
be up on Wednesday. We are filming Wednesday. Start date of July 31st.
So we'll see how preseason starts rolling out here and watch injuries and then talk more about that as the season gets closer. College football is getting ready to go. Everybody's going to camp right about now. All the media days are over. Nothing really came out of media days except for ASU was picked third in the Pac-12 South.
So what would that give them bowl game wise?
I don't know because it changed this year.
Did the change go in effect this year? Or next
one
year?
of the changes. One of the changes was this year, and then it's a big shakeup next year.
Right.
But that's third in the Pac-12 South, so they.
Oh, in the Pac-12 South, not Pac-12.
No,
Pac-12. Ooh, that's not good.
They have Utah winning the whole Pac-12.
Really?
Yeah, like Utah's not a bad team, right? But last couple
years, like I like Washington and Washington State. I like both those teams.
Mike Leach.
I just love Mike Leach. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Do you follow him on Twitter?
Dude, I don't follow him on Twitter, but
you should. It is a treat.
I hear a bunch of interviews with him. Like he'll just do like random interviews with like random people, like wherever, and we're like, oh, Mike Leach was on with so and so in Pittsburgh. He was on so and so in Texas. On with so and so in Oklahoma.
He is just a treat on Twitter, man. It is just amazing.
I have to do that.
So they came out with a proposal for 9 a.m. games, out here. So
I'm a fan of. Are you a fan of 9 a.m. games?
No.
Depending on, obviously, I don't want it week 1 and week 2 of the season. Yeah. I mean, out here in Phoenix, I think with that would suck. But if you give me a 9 a.m. game in like November, December, I can dig.
I have a couple of problems with it. One is you have a hard enough time getting people to show up for noon games here.
Right.
You think I'm rolling my butt out of bed after whatever I'm doing on, Friday night? And I'm a 42-year-old man. What do you think college kids are doing the night before for a 9 a.m. game?
Hey, they're going. I mean, if you're at ASU, you're going out to Mill Avenue and you're getting crunk.
That's what Herm Edwards said about it. But Mike Leach is not a fan. He put it on Twitter that he goes, it's something like, he said something, and I'm paraphrasing, like, does anybody else think that 9 a.m. games on the West Coast is the stupidest idea ever? It was just like, zing.
But the other thing is, though, with that is, I mean, if you are a kid, like, why not just
stay up all
night? Do a rager, man. 6 a.m., start drinking. You don't think, like, Mill Avenue, be like, hey, we got a 9 a.m. game. Let's open up the bars at 6.
Well.
Pre-game at 6, baby. Come on. Get your breakfast and beer.
Like, when I tailgate for the Cardinals, which I don't do as much as I used to, man, it was a chore getting there. It was a chore getting to the tailgate at 9 or 10 when they opened the gates. I couldn't imagine tailgating at 6.
We could wake up at 5:30 and roll on down to Tempe and get to the bar and have some fireball shots in us by 6:15. And
okay, all right. So
I mean, I'm shaking just talking about that. I got goosebumps just talking about that.
It really does, folks.
I mean, I don't think I could do it anymore.
So Utah was picked to win the whole conference, which I think shocked most people. But in the South, they have Utah, USC, Arizona State, and actually UCLA are tied, which kind of surprised me because it's Chip Kelly. It's year 2 of his class coming in there, which means his players are still pretty young. So I think he's got another year. Then Arizona, then Colorado. And then on the North Division, you have Oregon, Washington, which are basically neck and neck. Stanford, Washington State, Cal, Oregon State on there. So, yeah, I mean, but even then, Arizona State would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they'd be 6th place total. Yeah, that puts them El Paso, Sun Bowl, roughly.
Yeah.
Which is
same old.
Yeah, I mean, typical for them.
Same old.
But I mean, we all know that this is going to shake up. I mean, Oregon, Washington, if they're not on that top of that North Division. You know, as the season goes on, then something bad has happened with those two. And on the South, that's the thing. I mean, you always go USC, but I think they take a step back because of their coaching hire last year.
Right.
You know, they'll still get talent, but you still have to have coaching. Kyle Willingham's
Cliff
a great
Kingsbury
coach.
didn't even work with the offense. That's how bad it is.
Right? Yeah, he went to the Cardinals.
Yeah, it got so bad the guy had to go take an NFL job. He's like, F this, doing this stuff.
Kyle Willingham's a great coach, but he's never really gotten over the hump at all, right? At Utah. Chip Kelly, like I said, it's the second year of his recruits being there. So they're all going to still be young. So can they compete for a whole season is the question. Arizona, coaches on the hot seat. I said last week that I've been reading articles. I read 2 more this week about how he's on the hot seat in year 2, which is just amazing to me.
I think those writers are just racist. They just have something against my boy Sumlin. They don't like black head coaches.
You think that's it?
Yeah.
Or is it just...
That's what I'm going with. It's 2019.
Or is it just U of A thinks they're God's gift to football?
It's 2019.
And
I'm
just
going
allow
false
their-
racism.
Yeah, well, everybody else is. You might as well too. So, yeah, so that's interesting on the Pac-12 side of it there. But yeah, Devils should have a pretty good year. I mean, Herm Edwards forget about Herm Edwards. He can go away tomorrow. His staff.
Oh, that staff's great.
You know, I mean-
yeah, but if Herman goes away, that staff goes away too.
Are you sure about that? I don't know, man. Like the way they have it structured now, it's more of a CEO type thing than it is a. They went away from that traditional coach and then everything
Coach
else.
brings in everybody.
But I mean, gets enshrined, gets his gold jacket tomorrow.
He's flying back.
Flying back to go to spring practices and stuff
He's
like
gonna wear
that.
the jacket
I would.
in practice. I'd rock that jacket for at least the whole weekend, right?
First kid that didn't do what I'd say, I just flip that jacket on, or my ring would shine in his face. I'd do the light perfectly right there, you know.
Well, I think they practice indoors though, right? They're not practicing on the 115.
Yeah, they're not on that. I saw a video of the stadium the other day because they're doing all this construction over the years, and they did a panorama of it, and oh my God, that field. It looks like heaven, man. It was like just plush, dark green, plush, just gorgeous. It's not going to look like
They're
that.
natural, right? They're
Yeah.
natural grass.
Oh,
Right?
yeah. It's not going to look like that in 3 months with them playing on it. But right now, it's like, oh my dear God, whoever that lawn guy is, give him a raise. So that's coming up. We'll talk more about that next week because we're going into week 0 here. What, 3 weeks from now?
Yep, Kent State, baby, August 29th. Less than a month away. You excited for some Thursday night Pac-12 action?
Kent State isn't in the Pac-12.
Well, it's on Pac-12 Network. I know, but you know.
I don't know. I heard a host the other day just ripping the Pac-12 on not having access, and he can't find them on an app. And I'm like, really? Because I got the Pac-12 app right here on my iPad that I watch
Right?
it on when I don't have it on television.
Yeah,
But
some people just need to look harder, I feel like, right?
it's just easy to bash the Pac-12 out here.
Exactly.
When you're not from here and you're from the Midwest, you
Yeah.
think your stuff's awesome.
Sorry, the Big Ten Network doesn't come on.
So
everywhere.
I'm sure we'll cover the Big Ten and all that stuff. But I think I'm really toying with. We talked about it last year,
Pac-12,
and then
deal they had?
the Atlantic decided to become the Athletic decided to become a company and basically steal my idea
SOBs.
with millions of dollars. But yeah, I think of doing a kind of an unprofessional video blog every week on the games and cover them and highlights and stuff like that. It might be something we'll try out this year and see how it works, type of a deal. So on there, anything else on football?
No, that's about all I got. Ready for tomorrow. We'll talk a little bit more about that here in a little bit.
Yeah, you and your degenerate stuff you're getting into here. So
Hey, man, speaking of degenerate stuff, let's talk game, finally. You are caught up on Big Brother, right?
I am.
All the way? You
All the
watched?
way.
You know what happened? You
I
know
am
who
good.
the noms are? You know who we got?
I am good. And then what is it? Tomorrow night is
Tonight
tonight. I thought it was
is
Thursday.
veto.
Okay.
And
Oh yeah, that's
tomorrow's
right.
eviction.
Eviction. Yes.
The veto has already happened. Do you know who won the veto?
I did not.
We won't, say it on the podcast.
Yeah, I did not Google it, but I know it has happened, and I have found watching the live feeds ruins the show. So I don't
Well,
watch
it
the
depends
live
on the
feeds.
day you watch
Yeah.
the live feeds. Like if you get it Thursday night, if you're like, all right, I'm going to watch.
Well, after the show, yeah.
If you're like, I'm going to watch the HOH, you're good. You just watch it Thursday night. But what they do the veto on Friday, or no, they do the noms on Friday. They
Yes.
do the veto on Saturday, and then
But they black
they
it
do
out.
the veto. Yeah, and they black it out. But when
They
they
talk
talk,
about
you know
it.
who's talking about
Yeah.
it.
Then
the
they-
guy is literally having the veto, like, "Oh, good job,"
I
you know, like with that
and
veto
he's walking
competition.
around with it around his
Right.
neck, you know, and you're like,
And then
yeah,
on Monday, I believe they do the actual
yeah. It-
veto ceremony.
Yeah,
so.
you have to be careful when you watch live. But I just decided I'm just going to stay away from it.
Right.
Because it also ruins plot points, too.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it because I know they're not going to show like everything, and there was some of it that they didn't show. Like a few weeks ago, I guess like Nicole and Bella were like at each other's throats, and they
Yes.
showed some of it, but on the
Yes.
live feeds, like it was cray.
Yeah.
From what I saw, so I did watch a little bit stuff like that. But
So
what do you think about the season so far?
Well, the big twist at the beginning of the season was when the people that got evicted, well, they got rid of the first guy, but then he came back. That first episode or second weekend,
Yep.
Camp come back.
Can't come back.
So when you got kicked
David.
out, yeah, the first 4 people got kicked out, but they stayed in the house, and then they got a fight to come back. I thought that was brilliant that they finally did
I like
that.
that. See, here's the thing about like the first episode itself. So like Jackson, who they call Mickey now, because there's another guy named Jack in the house. He,
Yeah.
the thing I thought was so sorry about his banishment, because what he did, he had to banish 4 people, and 3 of them got to fight their way back in.
Well, all 4 of them, yeah, 3, all 4
Well,
of
3
them
of them got
fight.
back in,
Yeah, one of them
and
did.
one of them didn't. So he's like, well, I'm going to pick these guys because they went up against me for this, you know, camp, the head of camp thing, camp counselor. I
Yeah,
think
they
is what
wanted,
called
they
it.
wanted to go for the same
But
thing.
he literally, like, everybody's like, anybody want to do it? You know, and everybody's quiet. And then, you know, somebody's like, oh, I'll
was
do
like
it.
the
you
last
know?
one
And then
to
he was the
do it.
last one. He's like, well, I got to go against these guys because they went up against me. It's like, you were the last guy to say you wanted it, you know?
I think the strategy on this year, especially from the super fans, is just awful. Like I don't
yeah.
think they've ever watched the show before.
So, first off,
people are
here's-
telling people stuff that they shouldn't be telling people, and you know that if you tell somebody that this thing, you know you're gone the next week.
So
and they're
here's
doing
my
it.
initial reaction when they're like, "Hey, we're going to be, what was it frightful, eightful,
grateful
So-
with an 8, grateful with an 8.
First off, an 8-person alliance, like that's your jury house. 8-person alliances do not work out in Big Brother. You literally just need to be like, "Hey, look, you're my one. Let's ride low, do whatever." But you're in an 8-person alliance. People are going to know that you're in an alliance. Like they're going to find out, and of course they found out because one girl in the alliance went and formed another alliance and went and told that alliance, and then that alliance said, "Oh, well, she loose lips about this because she told."
And then she started telling the other person
about
yeah.
the other alliance. Like Bella, like I'm glad that she got voted out this past week because she kind of dropped the ball on a lot of that stuff. I think surprise player so far, my boy Cliff. Are you a Cliffomaniac?
You know, it's funny because I'm like, shit, old guy's going to get voted off first week. And it almost happened.
It happens every single
Yeah,
time.
right?
Like every
Old
time the
guy
old guy
gone.
gets voted out.
And I'm really excited that he's still in there and everything.
And not only
so-
still in, but he fought his way back. He
Yes.
was the 4th member of Camp Comeback to join David, Ovi, and Kimmy.
Yep.
Poor Ovi. I thought Ovi had a chance, man. Like I thought he had a chance to kind of ride low and get voted out like late in the game.
I feel
like first
Yeah,
initial
no,
reaction, I was like, "Oh, he'll make it until jury."
I
probably.
feel Ovi messed up because he wasn't. The thing that made David so great was like when David came back into the house, he literally knew everything.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
He just watched.
He just
people.
watched like, all right.
And
these-
Ovi was like, that doesn't exist. Like Ovi was in a room when they were discussing a thing, and all he got out of it was there's 8 people like on one side.
Right, where
And it's
David like knew
Yeah.
who was working with
Names,
each other,
everything.
He's
Like, he even knew
these
this-
people are partnered up, but even Cliff knew that too,
Yeah, well.
and almost dropped the ball with his Cliff
know.
Notes segment that
Jackass.
Christy overheard.
Yes.
And now him and Christy are working together. So I mean, it's crazy how Big Brother works. But I think out of those 4, I was kind of sad that we didn't get it. And then when the contest started and Cliff got that first one, like
Yes.
just his reaction when Julie Chen's like, "A minute left," he goes, "Not gonna need that." And he drops that last ball in there, and then he throws his hat and he does the Superman.
Yeah.
And then he wins HOH. Like, oh my god, I'm a huge Cliff fan.
I mean, he's that guy that's a sleeper, but he's going to go out in dramatic fashion at some point. You
Right.
know? Either sacrifice or, he's just
Yeah,
going
he'll get put up as a pawn. Who
the
ends
problem
up
is
having
the
to go up.
side that he's on is getting eliminated. So it's eventually, remember who was that girl last year? That
Well, the good thing for him though now is
Yeah,
he's not on a said side because he got
Yes.
Isabella out.
Yeah.
and that's who they wanted out.
but
so
he's
he helped
gonna
him out.
but he's gonna eventually run out of people on his side.
Oh
is what I'm
yeah,
getting
it's going to
at,
happen.
so.
What needs to happen, what would be best for him, is if one of the big two, Jackson or Jack, got out.
One of those. I don't know why they're not targeting that. If I was in that house right now, I would be going after those.
That's
two.
what I hate. And
Every
Cliff
week.
made his play last week. He's like, Jackson, and Jack, you guys are up. And then, obviously one of them won the veto, and there was that diamond power veto that could have gotten used. And it's like, oh crap, what are you gonna do here? And
I think it got used today.
did it? I don't know. So I have no idea who used it or who won it or whatnot.
I read
but-
something earlier that maybe they were just threatening to use it or something, but that might have been used today.
So
Well, I mean, that was just a thing. I like how they're doing the contest. So they did the secret awards early this year.
yeah, which we saw them do last year, but they did it more
They
mid game. I felt
it
like
mid.
last year. Yeah.
So they did at the beginning, which I thought was good because,
But at the same time, it kind of sucked because Ovi never got his chance to use his.
but he got backdoored into that though. That's what made it
Right,
good. If he
right.
wouldn't have used it, if he would have got it put up there, but I mean, he was totally. So I'm okay with it at that point because he got back. There's nothing he could do about
And then
that.
Jack used his, and it really didn't change the veto at
Nothing.
all.
His was stupid.
Yeah,
I
his was
didn't-
dumb.
I
It
didn't
didn't
like
change
it.
anything because it's just a redraw.
Yeah.
Didn't get to pick or whatever. So
It would have been better if he would have picked because then he could have picked all the
Yeah.
slums or whatever.
I want all my guys to
Yeah.
play in this veto to get me off.
Yeah. Well, rephrase that. So I like the format of this year a lot better. I think the players are just the disappointing point right now. Like
Right.
there isn't a good, like you said, Cliff is as close to coming as like a good player right now. I think he's getting his legs underneath him if he can keep his mouth shut because he's almost ruined it. Like he's done really good and then he opens his mouth and ruins it. But I'm just, like Jack, who goes by Mickey now, like he is like, I'm a huge super fan. I watch every episode of every season, blah, blah, blah. It's like you don't act like you've ever seen this show before the way you act.
And he kind of
the way
made
you do
himself a
stuff.
target too. I mean,
Absolutely.
by doing that stuff, and then he's also the guy who's trying to run the house, and the way he talks to girls, which is what Christy kind of brought up. Even though they're working
Well,
together, like I think right now,
yeah.
looking at it, my final two, or at least final 3, 4, Tommy and Christy. I think they're working great together. They know each
Yep.
other. They knew each other before the house.
That's the best part.
Which is phenomenal. They knew each other beforehand. Like Holly, this week's HOH, there was 2 weeks ago. I didn't know who Holly and Annalise even were
but those are the people.
because they never even showed them on the show. Like,
but
like,
those are the
what are
people
these
that
people?
sneak through. Like,
But I feel like them being in relationships with Jackson and Jack are going to hurt them.
absolutely.
And I think Tommy and Chrissy, I think they're going to go far. Sam, I really like Sam, just because he's just like that dude who
I think,
he's a wild card.
but Sam, everybody likes Sam though. That's the thing about Sam is right. So he fits in with which was the Grateful Eight. He fits in with them.
But he was number 9, and the guy,
Yeah.
we were Jack even said, I just want to do what's best for Grateful. And he's like, what?
But then,
He's
yeah,
like,
I
I
know,
mean,
I know.
for our side.
But then he fits in with the other side too. So he's just that guy that's just he's like Casey. He's that guy that's just gonna coast and everybody likes him.
Right.
And then he'll be there at the end. Like,
I mean, he's up on the block right now, so
everybody. Yeah.
depending on who else goes up there with
Yeah.
him, we'll see what kind of votes he gets. But I mean, him and Nick were put up on the block, so we'll see who wins the veto and all that.
Veto's
Who
gonna
is
change
safe.
everything.
So,
But I like this year's format way better than I have. And maybe it's just because it's newer. Like last year they tried the secret thing and I thought it kind of fell flat last year because most people didn't get to use their secret thing last year, right?
yeah, well, remember the girl at the end, like she could have used it, and she totally
Yeah,
was
she
like,
did,
"No,
yeah.
I'm not going to use it." And
This-
it was like, this was the 1 week you could have used
Yeah,
it. You
but
could have made it a play.
This year, the people that got it, I felt like they had to use because it wasn't the type of like even if Ovi got to use it, it wasn't like something that would change the game dramatic. Like last year, it would have just altered the game left and right and caused a lot of problems.
Right.
This year, they were good enough that it would affect the game, but it also wouldn't. So it wasn't so they couldn't use it because they were afraid to come back on them. Like if any of them got caught using it, it wouldn't have been the end of
Well,
the
the
world.
main thing that's going to hurt Christy because she has the only power left is
Yes.
people know she has the power, and people want her to use the power.
Yeah, I mean that's the problem.
And that's the
is
thing.
Those
like,
are secret
the
for
people
a
on
reason.
her side think, oh, like Jackson last week was mad that she didn't use the power.
And that's what I liked about Jackson. Like even with his group and his boys, he was like, I didn't win my power, And it was like that's the way you do it. Is nobody knows you have it whatsoever. That's right, and stuff like that. But it's I'm enjoying it a lot. Like I said, the players I think are weak. I think a lot of loose lips this year.
Yeah, well, I think they have the main one out.
Yeah, well, yeah, right. But I like how they did the first 4 stayed in the house, and affected the game that way because they had to think about that. And David wasn't quiet about what he knew either.
Right.
So, all those secrets were getting out on who has what, who did this, who did that. And that just changes the game. Because last year, with Tyler and all those guys, is none of those guys spoke. And they actually messed up a couple times and got caught. But there was enough questions on if it was true or not, and that's why they did it this year. But I agree. Once they went from 6 to 8, they messed up. The other side not doing an alliance messed it up. They were all just
the girls tried to do an all-girl alliance, which totally fell flat.
Well,
the other side, there was 3 left. I mean, Sam was on the other side with Cliff. You knew that wasn't going to work out.
Yeah, but
Sam, Cliff, and Obi kind of had a thing, but you knew that wasn't going to go anywhere.
I know, but
especially because Obi got eliminated, and they're like, "Hey, we're a 3-person alliance, but you're not even in the game."
I know, right? So I don't know. We'll see as it gets down here and the strategy goes, but I think there's already so much distrust in here and everything, and I think I'm gonna go on a limb, but I think, and like I said, not watching on the live feeds, this is stuff you catch up on. I think people don't trust Mickey and Jackson. At
Mickey
all.
Jackson's the same.
I'm sorry,
Mickey.
Jack. Yeah, sorry.
Well, I think more people don't trust
The
Mickey.
mermaid guy. Yes.
Because Mickey, he's bossing people around.
Yeah.
He's pretty much made this week's HOH because him and Holly
But Jack
are
was
banging.
bossing people around earlier and rubbed people the
He's
wrong
pretty
way
much
or
making
whatever.
this his HOH. The girls don't like how Mickey talks to them.
That's what I mean. So they're
he
going
banged Catherine week 1. Now he's banging this Holly girl.
I know, right? I know.
That's got to be awkward.
Showmance. But that's my thing is those two, I think, are going to, people are aware of them and they're kind of just going through the motions now, and somebody's going to strike at some point and nobody's going to see it coming. And that's what I'm
It's going to be
waiting
somebody
for.
from that side that's going to get one of those two out. It's not going to
Yeah.
be somebody from the other side
No,
that's
no.
going to get, it's going to be a total backdoor, like, hey, I'm coming after you.
And they're both going to be in the dark and not know what's coming, and they're going to do it, and then that's going to make the one that stays wake up and all that stuff.
So-
And that's the thing, but we got to get to that point now. But me in this show, I hate the first 10,
Couple
12
weeks. Yeah,
episodes,
let's get everybody out.
because it's just, you got the schlubs, you got the people that aren't going to make it. They're just crying all the time, they're not good at anything that they do on the show, and all that stuff. But this year, it actually, the way they switched it around, I thought was brilliantly done.
Shout out to Cliff. I'm Cliff-a-maniac. I'm pulling for him. Old guy,
So
baby.
who'd you say you thought were going to be the final?
I like Tommy and Christy. I think they're playing a really good game right
I agree
now.
with that.
Christy has the power. Tommy, they know each other. I wish the show would actually pick up more of them knowing each other previously, because that's kind of like a cool story. Because they knew each other. It wasn't like, hey, I ran into you at one point.
She dated his sister or
Yeah.
something, and
So-
it didn't end well.
Yeah, but they knew each other for like 4 years.
Yeah, but because Tommy was like, I hope my family understands. I got to work with her.
Right, yeah.
So it must have ended horribly.
And then I guess Holly used to be Miss Wyoming, and Catherine knows, and she's like,
Yep.
okay, Miss Wyoming. And she's like, nobody knows about that.
Yeah,
So she's keeping all that on the hush hush. The stuff they keep on the hush is really weird, I feel like.
Well, because you can't let anybody know you know each other, because then it.
Well, no,
Well-
just the stuff they don't tell, like, oh, I was Miss Wyoming in 2008. Like, it's just weird, the stuff that they don't tell people.
Well, because I think it's all part of the strategy.
Right.
You don't, you don't tell people stuff and things like that, because then you can make up stuff. Basically, the whole point of it is to.
Which is, I think, what Nick did. Nick, he's like a therapist. He
Yeah.
came in, he's like, I'm not telling anybody what to do.
I wouldn't, because he can read people and everything, right?
But he's doing a terrible job of reading people.
He is. Well, that's the most amazing.
Well, he works with kids, so I guess adults are
Yeah.
different.
But isn't that creepy though? Like the way he acts and stuff. I'm like, you work with kids?
Right? Like, just his look. If I put my kid to go talk to this therapist, I'm getting a new therapist, because he doesn't
like
look
his
right.
opening montage, like he's sitting awkwardly in that chair with like a folder on his lap, and he's like, "So tell me how your day was." And I'm just like,
Right.
"You're a creep, man."
Oh well, who knows? Maybe next year, me and you'll be on the show. soon.
Oh my god, I would do it in 2 seconds, but I don't want to try out or anything. I just want him to call me up and say, "Come do it."
But you'll be the old guy who gets voted out first.
Do you think I would?
Well, the target would be on you right off the bat, because you are the old guy.
The problem with the old guys they put in there, and this was Cliff's problem at the beginning, is he doesn't know how to interact with quote unquote the kids and everything. So he's automatically slushed off. No,
But now he's kind of moved a little bit, like where,
That's
he
my
does
point.
the Superman thing.
Yeah.
He does the whatever, the wave.
they go in and they're like set in their ways, and I mean even like the married guys struggle in this deal,
Right.
because they don't know how to interact with other people
Yeah.
and things. And maybe I'm blowing smoke, but I don't act that way. I can talk to anybody, I can do anything, You know?
I'd be interested to see.
I'd be more
us
of
in
like
the house.
I'd be more of like a Sam character where like everybody would like me.
Yeah.
And then like they'd have that one or two people that I can't fucking stand, and they would know I don't like him. But
Right.
everybody else would be like, "But he's so nice. He's not nice to me." And I'd be like, "Oh, he's nice to me."
All right, well,
So-
I'll do your video for next year. Okay.
I just have
I'll work on both our videos.
I just have like no desire to like go through that, like do a video.
I'll
send
hook
it
you up.
in,
All right.
like-
Give me your email or password. I'll get you.
I
all
don't
set up.
even. I mean, I don't even. You know, I don't even like going down and checking my mail.
Very true.
You want me to exert? I didn't want to email a league. I didn't want to because their email was too long to join their fantasy football thing because their email was too long.
Yeah.
That's my life right now.
Well,
Make
there you
it convenient for me.
There you go. Well,
They should have an old guy, Big Brother, old people.
yeah, there you go. 40 above.
Most people can't take off a whole summer.
I know, right?
You get paid.
What is the?
You get paid $750 for every week you're on the show.
I know that. And
Not a
then
bad payday.
no, not at all.
But I mean, for that, I mean, depending what you do in real life.
Like if I worked there, and like say I work at the radio station or whatever, 1580,
well-
I'd be like, hey, look, 1580, I gotta take off this whole summer. Don't worry, I'll rock out 1580 gear the entire summer, so people will know.
They don't let you do that. If
They
you
don't let you do that?
If you notice, they all have just generic clothes, and then they all have Big Brother stuff.
Because sometimes they have like their own stuff.
Yeah, but it's not. There's
Yeah,
no logo.
right.
They don't even have Nike logos or anything.
Well, they do have Nike logos.
No, I
with
got
their
rid of
shoes.
them all. Well, shoot, I
Yeah.
don't know. I didn't pay attention to shoes, but their shirts and stuff are just basic,
Right.
whatever things. So I mean, they're not going to advertise for.
We'll do our own company, Gestalt.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, if you notice, they'll have Camp Big Brother stuff on
Right.
all the time and all that. My thing is so Cliff, cowboy hat guy, first episode, you know, they go in there and he gets that goo crap all over his
Right.
cowboy. Next scene, it's all clean and everything.
Yeah, he has good hat cleaner.
So obviously,
when the
well,
goo
they
first
do.
hit, I was like, oh, that's gonna be a bitch cleaning that
I
off.
know.
And then next thing, I was like, oh, wow.
I have a feeling there's a service for that. I don't think he's in there.
Yeah, I'm
scrubbing
pretty
it.
sure, like, because they go shopping for him, you know, like not all the food stays in there, right? So they go shopping
Yeah,
for him.
people bring. I
And
was
then they
reading
bring in
about
the
it.
food.
Yeah,
and,
they have deliveries. Like they have a cleaning.
Right.
They have to clean, but they have a cleaning service that comes in on
then,
certain days and stuff.
Yeah, when they're out in the backyard doing
Yeah.
whatever, you know. So
Yeah.
they'll do that. And then they keep them in the house when they have to clean up the backyard from all the challenges and whatnot. So
You really don't think me? I mean, you know me pretty well. In my
I don't know. I want to.
manipulatory-
Well, I just
my
know the target's
manipulative
going to be on
ways.
you.
Well, of course, but I
for
didn't-
like week one, it's going to be like, hey, let's put up this guy.
But that would also be.
Because the target's always on the other. It doesn't
I know,
matter. Like,
but
they don't
that
have to
would
know the
also-
guy. They'll just be like, put it on him.
But that would be the strategy right there, though. That's
Right.
the point.
Then you got to prove your keep. You got to win some of those comps, baby. That comp this last week looked brutal.
That's the thing, right? So you watch it on the show, and they make it look like it's 30 minutes of whatever, you know. And then you like read about it, and it was like 8 hours,
Right, yeah.
of like hanging on to something. You know,
And they're all trying to cut deals. Like,
Yeah.
if I go down,
he held on. He held on to that for 8.5 hours to win that. Like what?
right?
He,
There ain't nothing worth hanging on 8 hours for, right?
he was on there for 8.5 hours. No way.
Jeez.
And
Anyways,
so we'll see. I mean, it's getting exciting, and you know, what is it? Episode 15. What is there? Like 10 left?
yeah, probably.
We're over halfway.
Probably more, yeah. They still got to do the jury. They haven't made jury house yet, so.
Well,
The season started late this year, so.
Yeah, but they have to have it wrapped up before football season gets rolling.
Yeah, definitely
So,
don't want to
end
go
of
up against
August.
Thursday Night Football, yeah.
So
we'll
we're
see.
at 3 weeks here. They got to be it all. But they also do that double eliminations coming up. They do. But yeah, that's the thing. No jury house still. So
I think that comes up in the next few weeks, so yeah. We'll see.
it's exciting. Big Brother Camp Out. So on this note, I went and saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
How was that?
Great. Highly recommend it. One of my top 3 movies so far this year. I understand why people don't like Quentin Tarantino because it's a different style.
Right.
He reimagines things that didn't happen. But I'm not a Leo fan at all. But I enjoyed him in this movie a lot. Brad Pitt definitely steals the movie. The movie's more about him than it is Leo. But just the imagination and the styling of Quentin Tarantino is just amazing. So just for that, you should go see it. Throw it out there. I can't say much about it because it'll ruin stuff.
Right.
But even Leo, you know, when he's on this Western and this girl's talking to him, and just watching the actors. So watching Leo and what it ends up being Timothy Oliphant's character, watching them act while acting in a show was pretty phenomenal because they have to pretend they don't know their lines to their lines that they know in the lines. Like it's just amazing to watch.
Yeah.
You know, so they're in a show acting, and Leo forgets his lines, and he has to pretend that he doesn't know his lines in order to act in this movie that
I
he
think
doesn't
that'd
know
be the
lines in the
hardest
show.
thing about being an actor is having to act out that you are an actor.
Yeah. And that's what he's
Like,
doing
yeah,
for
that'd be, like,
most of the
totally
movie.
weird, yeah.
And it's just amazing to watch. Like it's just, you know, it's just natural. It's just everything, and just the way he does his movie and all that. The soundtrack is phenomenal. I mean, he's got the Manson family in there, you know, which that's out now. It wasn't out when I saw it. It was just there, but you catch on to it pretty quick if you know anything about it. But yeah, no, I definitely recommend one of the top 3 movies. Pack and Stack Lunch. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes long, but you don't know it's that long. It's pretty phenomenal. I highly recommend it.
All right, I'll take a look on that. I like it. Probably wait till it comes on the old Fire
I
Stick.
knew you were going to say that. Get it free.
Yep, trade
Don't-
deadline.
Don't support Hollywood.
Speaking of getting stuff for free,
Big news.
speaking of getting stuff for free, the Astros have acquired Zach Greinke. It's in. What all has been given?
Do we have the terms?
So Astros are taking $53 million of the remaining money owed to Greinke. So they're going to pay out 2/3 of the $77 million that's left on Greinke's deal.
So Diamondbacks are paying $20 million to unload him.
Yeah, what's that? 53, 24?
Yeah, roughly.
But yeah, paying $24 million.
I
To unload
hate
him.
that.
The D-backs get Corbin Martin, JB Bukowskis, the former of whom is recovering right now from Tommy John surgery, so that's great.
Fucking brilliant. Good job, Diamondbacks. Let's get the guy that probably won't come back from Tommy John surgery.
Seth Beer, first baseman, he's coming to the D-backs along with Josh Rojas is coming to the D-backs. So 4 players in total coming to Arizona. Houston.
That was a pure salary dump.
Yep. Which we knew, like, coming into it, it's probably going to be that way.
We
so.
but we didn't think Greinke was going to be the guy that goes.
Yeah, we all pretty much thought Robbie Ray was going to be the guy.
Robbie Ray, even got center fielder Dyson was on the block.
I just thought there was too much money for Greinke to go. I really did not see Greinke going. But,
I'm impressed. I hate how the Diamondbacks have to pay $24 million of that salary.
but I'm impressed they got him to pay 53.
That's what I'm saying. I'm impressed. He's got 2.5 years left. So the rest of this season, next year, and then the following year left on this deal. So that's why they were saying next year would be the year they'd be able to.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying off-season type deal there.
Could it be a year and a half or 2 years? Because it's 30. Well, I think of the final year, I think ends up being he's taking a pay decrease from here on out. So this year I think is 34, and next year's 33, and the final year's 32 million.
Yeah.
On there. So yeah. So I mean, I don't. Diamondback salary dump. It's good to see that they held on to Robbie Ray and stuff like that. Man, Houston, how are they not Super Bowl World Series favorites right now?
Odds are out after the deadline.
What'd they move to?
2-1.
From what?
I don't know where they're at.
Well, they weren't favorites before, so
I believe they're in the mix as being favorites.
they were, but they weren't. They weren't the favorites.
2-1 right now are the odds. Dodgers still 3-1. So they're second. Yankees are 6-1. Braves 9-1. Those are your top.
So Houston
4.
is ahead of the Dodgers now?
Yeah, so Houston's 2-1 odds, Dodgers 3-1, Yankees 6-1, Braves 9-1. Those are your top 4. Then you got the Cubs 14-1, Twins 16-1, Cardinals 18-1, Indians are 20-1, Rays 25-1, Brewers and Nationals both 30-1 odds.
So the Dodgers and the Cardinals made a trade. Jed Giorgio. Yeah, infielder. So the Dodgers picked up some more depth on their thing, but they need pitching. Can you imagine? So you go to the playoffs, right? And you're gonna face the Houston Astros. Let's say in the World Series. First up, Verlander. Second up, Greinke. Yeah, and you can reverse the order. It doesn't matter.
Right.
The effect's the same. And then whoever the third, fourth, and fifth.
Yeah, you still got Garrett Cole.
Wait, but my point is those guys were just second and third in line and dominating the league, right?
Right.
So good luck, Dodgers, in the World Series again this year against the Astros.
Yeah, it's not going to be pretty for them at all.
And especially since their pitching is still not great. Like, they refuse to address their pitching.
So we finally got a big move. This deadline was kind of a wash,
dud?
I guess. Yeah. but as soon as Greinke news came out, you kind of start hearing this other news. Giants,
something
they got
bigger?
Scooter Gennett from the Reds, which is pretty cool. We saw a move made last night with the Reds. Trevor Bauer ended up going to the Reds. Did you see that fight last night?
Yeah, which I was going to talk to here before you got to Trevor Bauer. How is Puig able to be in that fight when they announced his trade on Twitter right before? It must not have been finalized.
Well, the trade just came out. Like, so
That's what I mean.
literally during the game,
Yeah.
he's out there. Like that inning, Puig is out there.
Yeah.
And it literally comes up, like the coaches, they don't hear like that stuff
Yeah.
unless somebody comes down and says, hey, but David Bell, he's already out of the game. He got ejected in the seventh inning from like the greatest rivalry of all time, the Pirates and Reds, which who knew this was such a rivalry. So then Puig's out there. The TV's covering it, and they're like, oh, hey, guess what? There's a trade. We're getting Trevor Bauer over here. I'm sending Yasiel Puig. And they show Puig, who's still playing in the outfield. Like, there was nothing leading up to that. I feel like there was, to me, what that says, there's nothing was leading up to that day that was like, hey, sit Puig. Because we might be trading him. There was nothing leading up to that. That trade literally just kind of came out of nowhere last night.
That's my thing, though. Like, it was there's actually a timeline I saw last night where literally it hit Twitter. And then that fight started the second after it hit Twitter.
Right.
So, but that doesn't mean it's official because it hits Twitter. It could just be agreed to and they announced it. But if it's not
we've
signed,
seen it where,
the second
who
they
was the
signed,
who was the guy a few years ago with the Mets?
Yeah.
They're giving him a standing ovation as a bat. Like, man, why are the fans going crazy for this guy? He's like, we just traded him. He's like, we did? Like, the manager didn't even know they traded him.
The reason why I saw that timeline is because people were like, if that trade was official, then Puig was not, because he went back out, after the whole fight deal and everything. Like, he was still out there or whatever, and they didn't pull him because of the trade on there. So it just means it might not have been official, is what they were trying to figure out on there. So, because once it's signed, that manager gets a call and they're taking him out. It doesn't matter if he's, circling the bases on a deal. He's out. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I think
word still has to get down to the manager. Yeah, so the fight last night.
But Puig,
he's going to be suspended for a few games.
Yeah, that's
before
the awesome
he makes
part.
his Indians debut.
Welcome to the Indians. But Chew, man, he hates the Pirates. That's his fourth bench clearing brawl against the Pirates this year.
Well, he wasn't the one that started it. At least it was started by Amir Garrett, who now has a best-selling ball on Fanatics. In case you're wondering, $40 get you a Amir Garrett ball. So I'm thinking about it. He moved up to number one.
You posted something, was the end of last week, with the Diamondbacks and Marlins were in a shoving match.
And then the Rangers and A's were also in a
and you're like,
match.
oh, no. And I was like, because it's baseball was my response.
Yeah, you take that back.
Yeah, and then last night, man, there was no pushing last night.
So last night, the Reds are getting rocked. No easy way to talk about it. Reds are getting rocked. Keone Kela, quite the hothead himself, a pitcher for the Pirates, started headhunting one of the players. I don't even remember who it was that he was kind of throwing at, but he was throwing at one of the players.
Yeah.
And Joey Votto, instead of going to first base during the next half inning, went pretty much over to third base line and was jaw-jacking with Keone Kela, saying, hey, don't be a F&P.
But the pitcher, the catcher, one of the coaches is on the mound talking to the pitcher.
Yeah, but this is before that happened. So in between innings, Joey Votto is literally going over to Keone Kela saying, you got the ball, don't be a fucking pussy. Like, you have the baseball. Don't throw at our guy. Like, that's BS. And Keone Kela's like, it's baseball, bro. What do you want me to do? We're playing baseball. And Votto's like, whatever, dude. So then Amir Garrett gets in there, and he was already ramped up. The umpires are talking to him already because a guy got tossed out. And then Amir Garrett comes in there like, hey, look, do not throw. And he's like jaw-jacking, like, get the hell away from me, umpire. Go back, you fat ass. Get back on the plate, whatever. And then he gives up a home run, and he's just down on himself after 12 pitches. Pirates dugout's like, yeah, F yeah, woohoo, yeah, we're rocking you guys right now. And, the intern manager, I guess, for the game comes out there to yank him. And, for me, it would look like Amir Garrett was like, yo, man, I'm ready to go over there. And he's like, fuck it, dude. Like, if you look at the body language, you'd see Amir Garrett's like, I'm ready to go over there and punch every one of those mother effers right now. And the manager looks back, he's like, hey, give me someone, because there was nobody warming up in the ninth inning. He's like, yeah, give me someone. And then he just kind of slaps him on the back, and then Amir Garrett just goes spalling.
He looked over. If you watched the video one of the videos I saw, he was like looking over their side. I think they were still jawing at him.
Yeah, they were definitely jawing at him.
So he was watching.
I'm pretty sure they were like hyped about the home run that just got hit, and they were making sure that the Reds knew we're kicking your ass right now. So
once the coach got out there and he was like, you're out, we're going to pull you out right now. He's like, all right, full sprint to the dugout with those guys didn't have to do a bench clearing brawl because he went to them.
And I don't know. I don't even know who that guy was that he hit, but there were 3 guys over there.
Yep.
He rocked them. He rocked one of them with a jumping Spar Thor Roman Reigns type Superman punch.
But he's already like way taller than him too. Like,
Yeah.
it was literally like a giant walking
like
into
Amir Garrett's like 8 feet. Like that guy's a monster.
Yeah. That's the funny thing that I got to me was when he gets over there, like the picture I saw had a bunch of the other players like surrounding him and they were all like to his waist. And you just see like this white uniform on top, just like swinging and everything. And it just looked like a man against kids, man. It was so great.
that happened. I think the best part was Chris Archer just had a bad fight. He got out there. He got thrown down. He was in the bottom of the
Yeah, getting stepped on.
Amir Garrett was just rocking him. As soon as he got up, Yasiel Puig pushed him right into the
Yeah.
little dugout.
Puig will stand up
post
for his
there.
teammates, man. There's no doubt
Well,
about
not
that.
only did he stand for his teammates, he also told his teammates that they need to stand the fuck up.
Yeah, I know.
Too. So, I mean, it was one of those things where it wasn't just Puig mad at them. He was mad at the Reds. Like, you guys can get in on this fight. Come on, guys, let's go.
Yeah, he's like,
have my
you guys-
back. And then David Bell, he's getting suspended because he came out of the clubhouse because he was ejected. So he's getting suspended for being on the field after that. And then he's with Yasiel Puig like, yeah, you're damn right. Let's go. You know, like, I got your back, buddy.
Yeah.
These guys are peas. So it was one of those. It was a crazy fight.
It was, you know, and you know, I'm not usually not a guy that's not like, oh, fight, but it was amazing to watch, like, because you don't see that in baseball very often.
Yeah,
if
you
at all.
definitely don't see something like that in baseball. But for some reason, this Pirates Reds
Well, it's gonna be-
debacle, like these guys are just like they hate each other. I mean, we saw earlier this year, Puig got into it with all the Pirates, and here Amir Garrett just, you know, I'm going to attack them all too. So
But it's going to tone down now a lot because one Puig's not there to instigate it anymore.
right.
But so Cleveland, you know, gets it. I get getting rid of Trevor Bauer. He's a hell of a pitcher still, but he just wears people down. And his, you know, stint the other day where he turned around and threw the ball over the center field, you know, thing,
Which I loved, actually.
So did I.
I loved it.
I actually enjoyed Terry Francona's reaction where he was like, "Dude, really?"
Well, if you read his lips, he said, "What the fuck are you doing?"
I know, and he's like, and then he like turns around, he's like, "I'm just mad, man. Sorry." He like taps him on the shoulder and walks off, and it's like, what the? But what are the Indians doing, man? I mean, how does this make them? They already were like a so-so contender, you know, like every year, you know, they can get there, or they can. It's everything. But I feel like they weakened themselves with this
Yeah.
move.
Well, I feel like with both of those, I mean,
Trevor Bauer going and then bringing Puig and
well,
those guys.
not
in.
just that. So Bauer goes to the Reds, which isn't a contender. They're not contending for anything this year. Marcus Stroman, he was, you know, I think he was a bigger arm than Greinke.
but
He goes to the Mets, who are 9.5 games out. Like, that was just a weird move.
Okay, they didn't get rid of Thor, did they?
No,
The
they kept Syndergaard. So I mean, obviously the Mets are looking ahead to next year
because the Mets
with that move. They're looking ahead to
'cause
next year
well-
and maybe creating a little noise for the last 2 months of the season.
because they get and it's a big middle finger to the Yankees because he grew up on Long Island and he wanted to play for the Yankees. So it basically is their Mets are going.
He had to bust out the picture of him in a Mets jacket to make it
Yeah.
look like he wanted to
Mets-
go there.
Mets are
where
like-
apparently he was fighting people in the clubhouse because
Yeah.
he didn't want to go to a non-contender.
Yeah.
So
But I mean, the thing about I didn't understand. I mean, the Thor and the Mets aren't getting along, so that's why they wanted to unload him. But they still have him under contract for another year. Now they have,
I don't think it's bad blood there.
there's.
I think the
There's
bad
some
blood
things
is
between
I'm
the
always
two.
hearing my name in the rumor
Yeah.
mill. But outside of that, I don't think there's bad
He
blood.
put on his Twitter profile yesterday, maybe traded, maybe not. They can never decide.
Yeah.
Something like that on his Twitter profile. the
And I
other
think
day.
that just sucks. Like being a pitcher, like it sucks. Like I mean, they were talking, you know, the Rangers they stood pat this year, and there was a lot of talk about Mike Myers. Like hearing these trade rumors, like I feel like, you know, the Rangers are turning their back on me. Why sign me just to trade me? But they ended up not trading him.
But I don't
So,
disagree. I mean,
it's one of those
not-
things. I think if you're a player, you hear these rumors, you know what's going
That's
on.
not. I mean, on the surface, it's weird, especially if they're going to trade Syndergaard. But now that they kept him, I think it makes perfect sense why they brought in another hype. Now they have two top line pitchers. That's what you need in Major League
Yeah,
Baseball.
I mean for next year. I mean it's a move for next year. It's not definitely
Yeah.
not a move for this year.
But-
It's a move for
so,
next year.
At first, when knowing that they were going to sell Syndergaard, you're like, why would you do that? But now that they kept them both, it makes perfect sense to me. You know, kind of a deal. But that's the thing. I mean, you know, you know what I thought the Cubs were going to do, because they didn't make any. They got some catching help and some small stuff. Because it's Madden's last year under contract, I thought the Cubs might blow Madden out and bring somebody else in to spark that team. because they're not going to make a trade for anybody big because they don't have the money, and they're tied up a lot. I'm kind of surprised, and it might still happen, but I heard that rumor earlier in the week that being Madden's last year, don't be surprised if that's the move they make instead of players to kind of spark this team. Because
I mean, they would have been good with some Reynolds. I don't think they're going to get rid of Joe Madden just because, I mean, where they sit at right now in the standings.
But if they're not going to re-sign him next year, make the change now, and there's guys out there that could step in and go from there if you're not going to bring him back next year. Because there's no reason Madden shouldn't be having a contract extension if they're going to bring him back.
Yeah, I mean, the guy won you a World Series. I mean, but even, being in the World Series, even after they won that Game 7, there was talks like, oh, why'd he bring so-and-so? Like, that media just tears you up out there.
Well, not just that, but Madden's kind of a difficult guy to, he's an easy guy to blame because he makes all those weird moves and everything, and if they don't work out, it's easy to point out.
But if they do work out, he looks great. But, I mean, right now, they have a wild card spot. They're a game back behind the Cardinals, so we'll see how that plays out. So, I mean, it's come down to a 3-team race, but none of them, I really think, got the advantage.
Cardinals, unloaded an infielder, which didn't really matter. He wasn't, he was playing.
Like Cardinals, Cubs, and Brewers, I don't really think any of them have the advantage going into it right now, looking at it. I mean, Cincinnati could make some waves. They're only 7 games back and 6 games back to the wild card. Who knows? Bauer might help them out a little bit. Braves
picked up a couple guys from the Rangers to help them out because they're running away with that division. But I think I said last week that you're going to see a lot of teams stay pat this year. So I'm not surprised that the trading deadline was kind of a dud. I thought you'd see a lot of teams stay pat this year. I mean, the Giants, for the most part, stayed pat. Padres stayed pat because there was talk that the Padres were going to get Showman and stuff like that. They were going after them. I think, obviously, Houston made the move of the season right here with bringing in Greinke,
and not just move of the season. Next couple of years, they got Greinke,
yeah,
so they're going to be hard. They're going to be hard to beat.
Verlander, I think, has another year, right? I don't think this is his final contract
has,
here.
4 more years,
because that Detroit deal he signed was
and you got
huge.
Garrett Cole and Wade Miley over there too. So the top 4, it's stout.
Yeah, but Wiley comes and goes, so we'll see. But the Diamondbacks and the Marlins traded for prospects. They're those guys.
Yeah, you got to. I mean, they got a pretty good haul for Greinke considering what it was. I mean, you get Seth Beer, who's a number 3.
Yeah, but prospects are just ridiculous.
Yeah, but Bacchus, who's a number 4, and then Corbin Martin's a number 5. So, I mean, pretty good. I think Joshua Rojas is number 22. So,
the weird thing is the Diamondbacks are playing. I mean, the Yankees needed pitching. They need pitching like you would not believe.
Oh, a lot of people thought Robbie Ray was going to be with the Yankees.
Well, especially because they're playing him right now. So, Robbie Ray literally could have changed dugouts in the middle of this game right now.
Which is what we saw last year when the D-backs made a play for Diekman. I don't think the D-backs like making the paying for the plane ticket. So a lot of people were thinking that Robbie Ray was going to go to the Yankees because they were already there. Hey, you don't have to pay the plane ticket. There you go. Just go walk over there, get suited, and good luck.
Yeah.
Well, you can come clean out your your apartment later. Which they did last year when they acquired Casey Diekman when they were playing the Rangers in a 2-game series. So I was actually shocked. I thought Robbie Ray was going to be a Yankee, but hey,
yeah, I can't believe the Yankees didn't make a move for pitching because they're literally giving up runs left and right. Their pitching is god awful. It didn't have to be a high price guy. Bring in a couple lower price guys, but I cannot believe the Yankees didn't make a move on that. Like, what are they thinking right now, especially in that division? With the Red Sox right there and Tampa Bay's in the running still.
Well, they probably tried to, and the price just wasn't right. I mean, Robbie Ray's solid left-handed arm. You're not going to give him up for just pennies. So
it's the Yankees. You got to go for the playoffs,
you're D-backs, you don't have to sell. You don't have to get rid of these guys. As much as, people say, like, oh, man, they're getting rid of so-and-so. Like, you don't have to get rid of them.
When your pitching is as bad as the Yankees is right now, I would argue you almost have to make a move at that point.
Oh, yeah, the Yankees should have made a move. But I'm saying, like, D-backs-wise, like, they don't have to be like, all right, here's Robbie Ray. He's on the market. What are you going to give him?
Yeah, the Braves.
We'll take it.
The Braves fortified their bullpen. They got a closer and another setup guy on there. So the Braves are obviously setting up for the playoffs there with their bullpen getting in there. I thought it was going to be pretty benign, and it fairly was. A lot of smaller stuff going on, but this Greinke trade completely up, especially in the American League right there.
Yep, we'll look forward to seeing that.
It's no longer a Boston Yankee.
The good thing about Greinke going to Houston is the Rangers usually beat up Greinke pretty good, so it may be good to get some wins for the Rangers.
They don't play him that often
Houston.
before How many games has he pitched at the?
I mean, when he was with Kansas City,
Yeah,
he beat
that's
up on
true.
him a little bit.
Yeah, he was younger.
So, yeah. I went to like
Be
one of his like,
younger.
first starts when he was at Kansas City.
He's lighting it up this
I
year.
was like, man, this kid's going to be a stud. And sure enough, I was right. He's just a weird guy, though.
Here's the
See how he
weird.
fits in Houston. He's a weird guy.
But so's Verlander. Like they're
Yeah, well, at
both
least Verlander
quiet.
talks. No, Verlander ain't quiet.
No, he runs his mouth
Verlander
on.
gave the finger to the MLB
Yeah.
this year.
He runs his mouth on that stuff, like baseball stuff or whatever. But he's not like Mr. Talkative with outside of baseball stuff or whatever.
The good thing that's going to work out for the Astros when it does come down to the World Series is Cranky's starting a game on the road because he can swing a bat.
Yeah, oh yeah, he takes pride
So,
in it too.
Yeah, so he can swing a bat. So
Wait.
that'll be very good.
Are you celebrating the non-DH right there?
Hey, if a pitcher can hit, let him hit. But
Yeah, and
if
he's
a pitcher's
proud
up
of
there
it.
button, which is more often than not, then yeah, whatever.
No, Greinke's proud of hitting. Yeah, so that's true. So if you have to start on the road, then you would move Greinke to third game.
If you're starting on the road and be
No, I mean so if you're starting at home, then you
If
have to
you're
move
starting at home,
Greinke
yeah,
to game
maybe.
3. But
Well,
with their pitchers,
or have him pitch game one, then he's going to do 4 or 5.
but
right?
that's true.
So-
But even then, I mean, like I said, Houston, you got Verlander, and then a couple other pitchers that I'm John name blanks on now are really good, so they could even go, and you can move Greinke to third to
Right.
start on the road and still be deadly.
Well, I think the guy you
so-
traded for, though, you start him either one or two. Verlander or him are going to get
unless you-
going to get the nod.
Yeah, because American League Baseball doesn't do strategy, so it makes sense.
Yeah, hater. All right, so tomorrow night, Hall of Fame game. You excited?
No.
Well, you going to be excited now? Get the old pocketbook out.
Yeah, I'm gonna. They limit what you can bet on these games.
The Broncos are 2.5-point favorites right now. The predicted score,
Who are
according-
they playing?
they're playing the Falcons. Broncos and Falcons playing tomorrow night. Broncos are 2.5-point faves. Falcons are dogs. But the predicted score coming from Oddshark.com actually has the Falcons winning this one, 26-18. And the over under right now is 34. So you betting over or under?
Oh, under.
So less than 34 points.
Yes.
Game one.
That would be under.
So what would that be? So what's your score prediction?
Offenses suck at the beginning
Comes your
of
what?
the year.
17-14. What is that? How many points is that? That's like 31.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get more than that. I'll go over.
Offenses are horrible compared to defenses to start the year. The Broncos have a good defense.
Yeah, but it's going to be the scrubs. I don't think Matt Ryan's playing at
No.
all. You know, Julius Jones ain't playing.
I think you're proving
Julio
my
Jones.
point right now. Is it's going to be the scrub guys that aren't good.
Yeah, they're going to be
Jason,
playing the
and they're
scrub
gonna be all-
defenses too.
Yeah, but
I'll
so
take
the
the over.
scrub offense is going to be awful too.
I'll take the over. I'll take the Falcons. They're going to cover.
This is the stupidest thing we've ever done.
What? You got to get into it, man.
It's a Hall of Fame game, dude.
Betting season, bro.
Nobody's going to start. Nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to play past the first quarter. It's literally going to be guys that
I'm
are
going
just-
to drive to Vegas tomorrow to see how many people care at the sports book. 'Cause when there's a late field goal with
They-
10 seconds left, that doesn't mean
They
anything.
do. No, they do.
to the random fan.
I don't know what it is, but they do like minimum bets and stuff like that. So nobody, the people that are betting on this are people that are just getting their beak wet.
Got to get it wet, baby. Got to get
Getting their
wet.
beak wet.
Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You don't even know who's starting for Denver yet.
Who cares?
Exactly my point.
What? Who's the who'd they draft? They drafted
Not Luck, Drew Lock.
yeah, Locke. I think Locke's gonna be good.
You think he's going to play,
He should get what, a quarter in at least.
you would, if not more.
Yeah, quarter and a half.
Because, I mean, he's not starting. He's not starting at the beginning of
You
the
think
season. It's
Flacco's going to
Flacco.
start the game tomorrow? Because
No.
he'll go one drive,
If he does, it's going to be, and it's just going to be him handing the ball off.
Right.
Nobody's going to come near
maybe
him.
doing like a 7-yard pass, something stupid.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be one of those where you unload the ball the second it hits your hands.
And after that, you get Drew Lock up until halftime.
I'm looking here to see what it says. I mean, you would think you want the kid to get as much time as you can. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because if you don't, you're not, then he's not going to get the opportunity anywhere else. So, here's what the starting lineup could be. Oh Lordy, a bunch of people you've never heard of. So they have 90 players on the roster. 53 will make the regular season roster. What is that? 37 players. So they They literally can fill the team with just the guys that are getting cut.
Exactly.
So that's who's
usually what
playing
happens. Playing for jobs tomorrow, baby.
No,
Right
so
off the bat.
offensive starter Kevin Hogan is what they're predicting is going to start. So not even Drew Lock's not even going to start. So Kevin Hogan is what they're predicting. Devontae Booker at running back, Tim Patrick at receiver, Jawan Minfrey at receiver, Noah Fant at tight end.
Oh, gotta watch out for Noah Fant.
I'm not even going to get into the.
He's giving
the
you 2
linemen.
touchdowns tomorrow.
Then you got the defense. Defensive end, Draymond Jones. Nose tackle, Zach Kerr. Right defensive end, DeMarcus Walker.
I like how I go from you not caring to giving me the whole field rundown here and what's going to
Linebacker.
happen. Who's starting.
Linebackers, Dakota Watson. My point is these are the starters, Jason. These guys aren't making the team, or they're like they're special teamers.
Well, football's back, Steve, all right? You know what?
Hey, it's gonna be on.
Before these kids were playing pro ball, you know what they're doing? They're playing college ball, and you were still watching them then. Has nobodies.
They are going to be on in my house in the background.
And then you'll put
While
on
I'm
Big
doing
Brother and
other
watch the
things.
eviction.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing other things on there. So, but I think it's going to be a lower scoring game than you think it's going to be.
I'll take the over.
If it was a regular preseason game, I'd say it'd be over. But first one of the year, they've only been practicing for week and a half. There's no timing between Hogan and, the rest of Hogan, I think. Kevin Hogan, didn't he go to Stanford? I think he went to Stanford.
Yeah, something like that.
There's no timing between the receivers. It's going to be a handoff fest. It's just going to be guys instinctively doing what they want to do. So go put your money down. Online sports with FanDuel. We logging into FanDuel?
So let's see here. I'm going to give you a little rundown here. Let's see what we got here, what I can pull up here. Okay, so last year the game was 17-16 between the Bears and Ravens. So that is
Under 34.
under 34. Game before, though, 2018, 38 points, Cowboys and Cardinals. You got 2 unders. Got an over there with the Cowboys and Dolphins. Got another under there with the Saints and Cardinals. Wow, Cowboys and Cardinals really love this game. Yeah, so it's kind of like 50-50 from what I'm seeing. Kind of
That's
split.
Because
Overs and unders.
Cardinals had Hall of Famers those years.
You're right.
That's why. Kurt Warner and then yeah, I mean it's a good mix. It could be high scoring, it could not.
So I'll take over. You take under. That's cool.
Okay.
What else you got?
I got under. You got over.
What else you got?
I'm still trying to wrap my head around this Hall of Fame game.
It's going to be Donnybrook. Going to be good.
Gonna be what?
Donnybrook.
I don't even know what that means.
Looks like a good fight.
Is that what that means?
It's going to be Amir Garrett versus the Pirates.
You Texans and your weird thing. So, I don't have anything else.
No, I got nothing else either.
I'm reading.
That's pretty much all I had.
I'm looking at all these memes and gifs of people for the trade deadline. There's a lot of bowling references, if you get what I mean, cleaning balls and everything. So I think people like I think people in Houston like this trade.
Hey, you know what? Gave out my gift right before the Granky news broke, and I feel bad because I said that was lame. Hashtag
Yeah.
trade deadline.
And I made somebody else for posting that too. And then I was like, that was right before it happened.
Yep. So there you go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Diamondbacks got Mike Leake. That's who we're forgetting the pitchers they got. So Mike Leake is
From the Mariners.
from Arizona State University, more importantly.
Hey, there you go. Homeboy.
They're going to sign him in like free agency, and he ended up going someplace else last year, the year before, or whatever.
the Mariners.
So, is that where you ended up going?
Yeah.
So, Greinke to Mike Leake. We're still in the playoff hunt, baby.
Let's do it. Let's go.
So, nope, that's it for me. We went a little long with the...
Yeah. I was looking over. I was like, oh, this is long. Oh, well.
You can cut out the skateboarding comments in the beginning.
Yeah, that was the beginning. Who cares? Anyways, make sure you give us a follow on Facebook by searching the Main Event Podcast. Also, like us on Twitter at the Main Event Pod. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat at JasonCarter03. Follow Steve on all 3 of those platforms as well at
SMAC 500.
Yeah,
SMAC 500, Jason.
And thank you for listening. God bless you. God bless the troops. And God bless America.